Warren Buffett takes more vacation than the average American worker and runs circles around Wall Street executives half his age. The world's most successful business leaders don't view time off as an indulgence. They treat it as a non-negotiable performance enhancement strategy their competitors are too short-sighted to implement. Organizers implementing mandatory rest protocols experience higher productivity, higher profitability, and better talent retention. Your business is hemorrhaging competitive advantage every day you allow rest to remain optional rather than strategic. In my company, I built a whole month where I could go do something else. The month of June is basically a time where we rest and recuperate. Well, in all reality, I run down and help run a leadership conference with 180 high school students, but it's very different than what I do before. And in that time, I also try and get out into the forest. I try to go hiking, and I try to do a little thinking about the year and where it is. July is a perfect time. End of June and beginning of July is a perfect time to think about the last 6 months of the year and the next 6 months of the year. Start thinking about where we are, what I've learned in those 6 months, what the market's doing and how it's reacting. Giving me this space to do it gives me the ability to look back and look forward. Bill Gates used to take a week of reading every year, and he'd go off and do some reading, and he'd think about the ideas, and he'd come back with new ideas and new strategies. And in many ways, taking that break, giving yourself a break, in fact, giving yourself the ability and permission to be bored and start thinking about things is a really powerful tool. And we in this hustle culture don't always deal with that well. Instead, what we have is we have this ability to continue to push and continue to grind. And what that does is it really just focuses us in on exactly what we're doing, focuses us in the task at hand and not looking at the broader picture, not bringing new ideas in, not creating greater and greater thoughts and different ways of looking at the same thing. Being able to step back and think about things opposed to being worried about actually delivering on a regular basis. It is one of those things that really makes a huge difference. And therefore, we have the ability to truly get things done. I have another dear friend, Alan Christensen, who goes off and writes in a cabin in the middle of the desert for a week with his own thoughts. Admittedly, we are a culture of distraction at this point, where even if we have 5 minutes at line, everyone's phone comes out and we are looking to be distracted. The ability to really be able to sit with one's own thoughts and be bored is vital for our ability to actually recoup and deal with the issues and come up with new ones. So as you work through your days, plan some time off. Plan some time off to do something different. I just did a whole video on talking about doing things different, and you're going to see a couple of them coming up because I just got back. I came back with new ideas and new thoughts and new directions for the company and new ways of doing things. These are all of the great things that we can do very quickly, and they give us the ability to really change who and what we are. So take some time off and maybe just leave the phone at home or turn it off and go for a walk. Be with yourself. Try and create some time where there is no interaction, there is no distraction, and allow your thoughts to come. Work on the big ideas. Look at the broader situation, because that's sometimes where the magic is. If people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are doing it, why aren't you? Are you falling into the hustle culture? Are you falling into the idea that you must be working all the time? Or are you willing to take a step back and realize that our bodies need a rest? Our minds need to have a break. We need to be bored a little bit to come up with the new ideas. New ideas aren't going to hit you when you're worried about hitting a deadline. New ideas are going to hit you when you're walking on a beach or climbing a mountain or having a quiet dinner with a friend. All of these become the more important things in our business lives, because that is where we see the strategies, where we are able to step back and realize. In fact, one thing is one of the businesses I was working on, 80% of our income was coming from one general area. And we realized there was no one managing that area. And the only reason we realized that is we took a weekend off and we sat down and we strategically thought about our business, opposed to dealing with the everyday emails and the customers and everything that was going on. And it was astounding. We actually laughed hysterically to realize that 80% of our business was not in any way, shape, or form being managed. So this is a great way of finding your blind spots, finding your areas, finding the places where you can be different and you can expand. But you can only do that if you stop and if you really worry and think about exactly how you are being and how you become. The true power of taking a break is actually letting your brain rest, and it will work on something different, and therefore coming up with something. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like to encourage you to take a small digital break. I find that funny that you're actually using a digital product to listen to me, but take a digital break. Take a weekend, a day, a half day, put your phone on silent and just be with yourself. The ideas that come up, the thoughts that come up, the things that you can be doing are all amazing. What I find is I take a digital break, and right now I'm doing a lot of community service projects. And so when I'm at the community service project, my phone is not on me. It allows me to focus on specific things that allows me to really get deep into it, and ideas appear. And the more you do this, the easier it becomes. It's very uncomfortable in the beginning because we're used to being distracted and getting that dopamine hit. But once you slow down and give yourself that break, the dopamine hits aren't as high and craving. And when you get them, they hit even more. So select some time. Maybe it's even an hour. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's sitting down with a dear friend and talking about nothing that has to do with anything that you've done before. And when you do that, come back and put a comment in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation and let's learn from each other. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.